Everybody's talking about the Tennessee Titans wide receivers, and rightfully so. But the Titans tight end room, I think, is going to surprise people this year. And I have two guys who I think are going to have breakout years. Hey Titans fans, how's it going? Titan Uprising here. Thank you for tuning in. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into the Titans tight end room. Now, the depth chart as of right now is, of course, Chig Okonkwo. We have Josh Whyle on his second year this year. We have Thomas Odukoya, who I think will be number 4. And then we have newly acquired Nick Vannett, and I think he'll be the 3. And now Vannett and Odukoya are likely blocking tight ends for the most part. Now, let's get into the top 2, which is Chig and Whyle, and who I think are going to be a lethal tight end duo because these guys have a little bit of a different skill set, but they're both talented in their own way. And I can't wait to watch these tight ends this year. And guys, let's get into the first one here. Chig Okonkwo, what a name to pronounce. Now, I thought he was going to break out last year, but no one on the Titans offense was able to break out last year with the absolutely horrible play calling and bad personnel. Now, Chig, he had his good and bad moments last year, much like the rest of the Tennessee Titans. Now, Chig had 54 catches for 528 yards and 1 touchdown. He played in all 17 games, which is huge considering the Titans' recent bad luck in the injury department over the last few years. He had 6 drops last year, and while that might not seem like a whole lot, many of those were easy catches. And just to let you guys know, I've had Sunday Ticket for the past, 15 years, 20 years. I'm 33, so about 15 years, I think. I've watched every Titans game for the past 15 years, no matter what. And watching some of these drops last year, and you just go, what the hell, man? How do you drop that? And it was hitting him right in the hands, and he just, I'm sure you guys know as well, and you watch the games as well as I do, and they weren't just catchable balls, but they were also on third down, and they ended up being drive killers, or could have been big change of momentum catches, and you dropped them. So 6 might not seem like a lot, but they were big drops. And I remember, you have one big one and it feels like it's 10, right? And he just you can't drop those. Titans receivers and tight ends didn't get open a whole lot last year, and when they did, they definitely could not afford to drop the football. And that was his biggest flaw last year. One thing Chig has mentioned a few times now is how him and other players, they feel more relaxed in the locker room and on the field with the new coaching staff, which is great. He said there was a lot more freedom on the field and that we're going to be seeing a lot of that this year. He mentions how the vibes in the building are immaculate and he is excited for the future. I think it's pretty clear that a fresh start was needed and that the players really seem excited and they're ready to go. They're ready to play. Chig also focused on making changes this offseason to his body and the way he moves on the field. He wanted to get in and out of his cuts better, and he said that he feels he maximized the potential of his body, and he wanted to change the structure of how he moved, and that he has felt a big difference so far. Now, Chig's a pretty solid, he's built, and he's athletic, so I can get him thinking I maximize the potential of his body, but he's still trying to find ways here, because that's pretty crazy to me. He's already an explosive player and in great shape, but he clearly is not going to settle and is going to keep looking for ways to improve. Callie, he knows that Chig is a weapon, and if he can fix the drop issues he had last year, this guy can score a touchdown at any moment on the field with his explosiveness. Remember, guys, this guy ran a 40-yard dash in 4.52 seconds, and that was the fastest 40-yard dash for a tight end in his draft class. Chig commented on how the offense will be more down the field and attacking, which will fit his skill set perfectly, and how in the past it was more short stuff, which is Titans are known for. Run the football and throw a short pass. And coming back to the attacking part, That's Titans' philosophy this year. They're attacking on offense. They're attacking on defense. They're not sitting back and playing safe football. They're going after it, and I love it. The playbook is really going to open up this year for the offense, and a guy like Chig is going to benefit just immensely. Now let's get into second-year tight end Josh Whyle. I loved this pick last year. He's actually the only pick that I got right in my mock draft last year. I didn't get a pick right this year in my mock drafts. So it holds a little, more weight with me. Just because I did a lot of research on this guy coming out of Cincinnati, and I loved it. I love this guy coming out, and then we drafted him. I was so excited. I love the pick. He's a big body guy, 6'7", weighs 247 pounds. He can move for his size as well. He ran the 40 in 4.69 seconds. Just as a comparison, Travis Kelce is 6'5", 256 pounds, and he ran the 40 in 4.61 seconds. Now, I'm not saying that Josh Whyle's going to be the next Travis Kelce. I'm not saying that at all, but I wanted to give you a size and speed comparison. We have Whyle at 6'7", Kelce at 6'5", Whyle at 247, Kelce at 256. Whyle ran in 4.69 seconds, Kelce ran in 4.61 seconds. Those are similar comparisons. He's bigger and he's not much slower. Whyle missed 6 games last year, and he wasn't happy about that at all. He worked on his body just like Chig did, and he is stronger and leaner this year. Kelly, offensive coordinator Nick Holtz, and then quarterback Will Levis have all commented on Whyle this offseason and how they've been impressed by him. This guy is a matchup nightmare with his size. He caught 15 red zone touchdowns while playing college ball for Cincinnati. Levis and Whyle are also hanging out a lot. They both were at the Players Retreat recently, and Levis had this to say about Josh Whyle, and I will pull that up on the screen for you guys here. I love Josh. He's a juice guy that we've got on this team. He has come along as one of those guys this year that's been cool to see come out of his shell and be a cool and fun presence in the locker room. He works his tail off. He's prepared every day. He puts a lot on himself, and I feel like that's why we're pretty similar. Ever since we came in here as rookies, we've been kind of hip to hip. I love that. I really do. The Levis to Whyle connection might be huge this year. And just like Levis said, they came in together. There's a connection already. Remember that they didn't really get to play much last year with both of them being hurt, and they weren't always hurt at the same time. And then Levis wasn't the starter in the beginning of the year. And Whyle, both rookies, they're both poised to take on bigger roles this year. Look for this connection to be a big thing this year. And this might really shock some people when Josh Whyle starts balling out this year. And everyone's like, who the hell is this kid? Well, get ready for it, guys. The Titans are going to have Chig as the speed weapon, and Whyle is the guy who can go up and just get it and get those contested balls with his size and strength. And this will make for a very fun tight end duo this year. And I can't wait to watch these guys on the football field. And like I said, everybody's focusing on the wide receivers. And I get it because, I've made videos on the wide receivers. And the Titans wide receivers are really phenomenal. They're great. They're great on paper. They got to go out and prove it. Just like everybody else, you're great on paper, but you got to prove it. But everybody's focused on the wide receivers. And then here come these tight ends. And they're like, they could slip underneath there. People are focusing on Hopkins, focusing on Ridley, focused on Burks Burks could be in the slot, and then focusing on Boyd in the slot too. Those are 4 good wide receivers, especially if Burks can kind of put it together this year. I have a lot of faith in him. I have a signed helmet behind me, so I'm hoping. I usually don't get stuff like that unless I'm kind of confident in somebody. I have Derrick Henry behind me and Will Levis behind me, so I'm hoping. I have Javon Curse too. But I'm hoping for Burks, I really am. But that aside, everybody's focused on the wide receivers. They're the main talk. They're the focus, rightfully so. But these tight ends, you're going to end up doubling Ridley or Hopkins, and then you have a guy like Chig that can just come through and light you up over the middle and take one to the house. Then you have Whyle. I wouldn't want to tackle that guy in the open field. He's a big guy. And you get down to the red zone, you just throw it up, jump ball to him. I mean, right in the middle, right in the back of the end zone. You know, Titans have not had a big body tight end like that in a long time. And he actually might be the biggest tight end the Titans have ever had. But I'm not entirely sure about that. If you guys happen to know that off the top of your head or want to look it up, comment down below. I will look it up after this video. But because now I'm curious, is Josh Whyle the biggest tight end the Tennessee Titans have ever had at 6'7"? We'll look it up. But guys, thank you for tuning in. And as always, tighten up.